Allora, grazie mille.
Thanks a lot for being here. Welcome back. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce the second session of this morning when we deal with Europe. Before introducing the various guests, let me share a couple of words, general comments, but important ones with you. As you well know, and I'm referring to the Eurozone, it underwent two major historic crises. First one, 2008, 2009, and the other one concerning sovereign debt crisis, 2011, 2012, and Italy was seriously affected. To give you a brief idea of the divergence level that between the various Eurozone countries. Here you can see the unemployment rate reduction in blue in 2008, and in orange you can see the percentage increase of unemployment rate starting from 2008 until the end of last year. As can be seen, progress that had been made during the first 10 years have been swept away and even worsened. This is just one of the various aspects. We know that the difficulties of the various countries are there, and we can mention quite a few of them. And Eurobarometer data that are shown here are quite interesting concerning the support of monetary union. And the question is, what is the percentage in support of monetary union with one single currency, the euro? As you can clearly see, as for the main European countries, including the Netherlands, the one in yellow, there was an increase in support of euro by citizens, but not in Italy, because starting from 2013, we don't know what the relative value is, but it can clearly be observed that we started from 60% down to a bit more than 50% in terms of support provided by citizens for euro. It is obvious that Italy's role in euro is a hot topic. Today, we have just published our position note, and I encourage each and every one of you to read it. We committed ourselves seriously to it, and we take stock of the situation, of what the experience has been. We focus on the main problems experienced by Italy with euro. This debate is still going on concerning probable exit of Italy from Eurozone, and the title is Euro in 2017 and Beyond, Risks and Opportunities for Italy. This is the Prometeia position note number 1, published in March 2017. We talk about the legacies deriving from the two so-called twin crises, 2008, 2009, and then the sovereign debt crisis in 2011 and 12. And then we will refer to the steps made forward at the euro area level to make it stronger, that are still incomplete. And then we should also address an issue which is very complex and still pending. A first step forward is now being made. Luckily enough, whether leaving the euro area or not should be the best solution for Italy. And for that, I would like to thank my colleagues from Communication Department, because they made a short video ready for you so that I don't have to talk about it, that highlights the main highlights of our position note. To you, the short video. In spite of the difficulties, leaving single currency is not the solution to Italian problems. Leaving the euro would not improve the stagnating growth of productivity. Staying would have its cost, but it would be lower. New currency would devaluate as against euro between 10 and 40%. The consequent inflation would reduce the real value of debts and savings, with a huge redistribution of wealth from savers to debtors and borrowers. The spread on interest rates would go up, causing a recession. Public debt would immediately face restructuring with chain bankruptcies of banks and companies. During the negotiations with creditors, Italy would not be able to issue any debt and would have to find new financial resources to cover the public debt and the overdue debt. And even if there were a moratorium on all the pending debts, in the best scenario, tax correction would be enough to bring the GDP debt ratio below 100% by 2030. Italy should therefore commit itself, since now, not to miss the recovery train, which is occurring at a global level. Thanks a lot. It's a big round of applause. Okay. Let me now introduce today's debate, and the questions would be: what are the steps to be undertaken to strengthen the common European house, to make it resistant to earthquakes? And there are many important issues. Two of them have been chosen: banking union, with Angeloni, who is a member of the board of the European Banking Supervisory Authority at the ECB, European Central Bank. Then we will have a discussion on this contribution by Giuseppe Lusignani, that everybody knows, professor of economics and financial intermediation of University of Bologna, and the deputy president of Prometeia. The second issue that will be addressed is analysis of next steps by European governance, with Gabriele Giudice, who is the head of the EU Commission's unit for the strengthening of the economic and monetary union and macroeconomy of Eurozone. And as discussants, we will have Mr. Montanino, who is director of the Global Business and Economic Program of the Atlantic Council of Washington, D.C. Now, I would really like to thank our speakers for accepting our invitation, and without any further ado, I would like to give the floor to Angeloni. Since Mr. Angeloni has to leave at 1 o'clock, we will have a Q&A soon after Lusignani's contribution by 12:30, so that we can have Mr. Angeloni with us for Q&A, and then we will continue with the second session of Q&A. Thanks a lot.